morning, everybody. This is Bob Ichino from Path Trading Partners along with Mike Arnold. It is Friday, April 14th. Markets are closed for religious holidays. The stock market is closed. So we're doing our weekend update path chat for the individual equities. Since the stock market is closed, none of these prices will change. None of the levels will change. So everything that we're doing for you this afternoon will be applicable to the Monday morning open. So Mike's going to go through a host of stocks, every one of which we've talked about before in the path chats. So if you're interested in what the stocks do, where they're located, you can listen to some past path chats, or you can just go to Yahoo Finance or Google Finance and they'll tell you. But the list includes Amazon, and then at the very end, Goldman Sachs and Wells Fargo. Goldman Sachs has their earnings on April 18th. Wells Fargo already had their earnings, beat on EPS, missed on revenue, and of course they've got their issues with the fraud still ongoing in the clawbacks. Now, we also just recorded the Money Path podcast. By the time you listen to this, the podcast may be out, it may not, but look for the release of it on Google Play or on iTunes, or you can go to our website, Path Trading Partners, and download the podcast when it is released. I recommend you listen to this podcast in relation to the equities that Mike's going to talk about. Mike made a call on the 10-year note. At the end in our podcast, we have a what and why segment. What is a price action situation that Mike is seeing? Why is a fundamental situation, and my description of that. And the two actually go together because I talk about geopolitics, which is what the market was selling off on the last couple of days, especially the extension that we saw on Thursday. That extended sell-off that we saw Thursday was definitely geopolitics. And if Mike's 10-year call is correct, we're talking about a 2% 10-year note, which will affect stocks. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike, but make sure you listen to that podcast if the levels and the trades that Mike talks about here are of interest to you. If not, then we will talk to you in the next path chat. But here's Mike. Mikey, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. So let's go through a lot of longer-term doubles we've been following, whether they be double tops or double bottoms. Yelp, we were waiting for it to trigger on a weekly basis, finally triggered this week. So the projected levels down are stop reduction 26.45, first profit target 23.64, second profit target 20.82, close beyond stop 39.13, walk away stop if it trades through 40.54. So that is triggered. NRG, which did trigger a couple weeks ago, just sitting pretty much just slightly below where it triggered. But again, this is a huge weekly pattern, so this can take many weeks to play out. So nothing to do there. NVIDIA had run up close to our stop level, did not officially stop us out, fallen back down now below the rotation zone. So we'll keep an eye on that. First target to reduce our stop level is 88.70. Log me in, moving up towards the stop level, but not close beyond the 103.99 level yet. Nothing to do there unless it closes beyond the 103.99 level or trades through 106.03, which would be a stop out. VMC came down very close to our first target, rallied back up sharply, is now dropping back down. We've already reduced our stop to slightly above the 127.31 level. FCX triggered a few weeks ago, ran up, hit the flat rotation zone, now is moving back down. So nothing else to do there but sit on our hands. FNSR triggered, let's see, how many weeks ago? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. Ran up, tested the declining rotation zone, now moving back down to our stop reduction level at 22.40. Okay, ARCB triggered a few weeks ago. This week hit the stop reduction level at 24.35, which means we reduce our stop from the 31.55 level and the 32.35 level. We lower it to slightly above the 29.95, which coincidentally has a flat 200 right there also. Next target on there is a 22.75. KAMN hit the stop reduction target 46.51 this week. So our stops removed from up here in the 51 levels down to slightly above the 50.21 level. SHO came up very close last week to triggering a stop, dropped down slightly, still ended up on the week, but nothing else to do there. No action to take unless it closes beyond 15.45 or trades through 15.65. KAI heading back down. We've already reduced the stop on this one, heading back down to, again, the stop reduction target. And then the first profit target is 54.77. WAFD, nothing to do here yet. It's just sitting caught between the two moving averages. GBCI headed lower this week. Stop reduction target 31.44. So we'll be watching for that to be hit. BUSE headed lower this week. Stop reduction target 27.53. So we'll be watching for that one. FNB triggered last week and now is headed down towards the stop reduction target 13.48. ONB moving towards its stop reduction target again, which it already did hit, and we reduced our stop to above the 17.55 level. Now it's heading back down. Our first profit area on that is the 15.75. Goldman Sachs, they're having earnings on the 18th. Watch for a potential really quick short trend line trade. This is, if we were going to do this, we'd only be doing it probably in the options market because of the earnings coming out, but it would be on a close below the low of 220.85 with a really quick target down to 215.04, which is a prior breakout area. Wells Fargo, which we did talk about on the podcast. Here's the weekly. We mentioned the significant level we have right around the 51, that's going to be this key prior support. You see it was resistance, then it became support after it broke through it after the election. Now it's retesting it. If it does break down through that, that's not a good sign. That's on the weekly chart. Here's what the daily chart looks like. So that, again, that 51 level is right around here. And you can see where it had some prior support there and tested it, prior support here and tested it with resistance here. And then if it goes through there longer term, we could have a potential gap fill 48.86 down to around 47.99. That's all we have for you. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Mike. Again, if you want to hear what we think about the geopolitical situation, what we think about a lot of things, check out the podcast. Otherwise, that is your weekend stock update from the Path Chat guys for the weekend of April 16th. Again, whatever holiday you celebrate, enjoy yourselves, be safe. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. Cheers.